Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant. Throwback. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Day. Why am I posting a video on Christmas Day? Look at me. I'm all snuggled up and all this, and I'm not even cold in here. But I just figured I'd, give that feel, that cold feeling, all this cold feeling back here. Merry Christmas, people. So there's a video that I wanted to do for about 2 weeks now because I ran across it. YouTube is a funny little place. You get recommended videos sometimes off to the right or off to the left, whichever way. Yeah, off to the right there. Um, you get recommended stuff. And there was a video that was recommended to me about fake wood flooring. And so I did a little deep dive. I don't do wood flooring. I don't do VCT. I don't do whatever they call it. All the different fads of flooring that's out there. Ever since linoleum became obsolete, all these other products have come on the market. And I stay in my lane. Yes, back in the day, back in the 80s, I did set some linoleum here and there once in a while. But I don't do any type of wood floor, fake wood floor, or anything like that. I stick to tile. Could I do it? Probably, but I don't have any experience in it. Nor do I know the lingo, nor do I know all the different products out there and all that stuff. But this video in particular that I want to show was a news report about Floor and Decor ish. It was about a failed product that Floor and Decor sold, and because Floor and Decor sold it, and because I recommend Floor and Decor to everybody, all my customers shop there. Floor and Decor started out here in Atlanta. About the same time I started, about 24 years ago. They started here in Atlanta as I think it was a West Building Supply, and they had doors and windows and flooring and tile and all this different stuff. And then over the next couple of 2 or 3 years, they kind of consolidated all of their product into basically just floors. They got rid of the doors and the windows and all that stuff, and they became Floor and Decor. And they have struggled to have a reputation because at first they gave you 10 days for a return, and I didn't like that at all. It wasn't enough time for people to make up their mind and all that stuff. There was just a lot of tweaking that they had to do with their company. And one of the things that really irritate me about this news story is because of Floor and Decor's pushback on a product that they sell. And I'm going to go through this video and you can follow along. I'm going to stop it along the way and kind of chime in on my opinion on it because I just think it's kind of a crappy thing for Floor and Decor to do. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. Let me play this.
An Thomas couple spent 18 grand on waterproof laminate floors throughout their home.
And they say they spotted damage after the first cleaning. It was time to call Curtis to investigate.
Yeah, well, the big question is, if it says it's waterproof, is it?
See the bubbled up edge and the swelling on the floor? It's not what Sudeep and Samiti Mehta expected in several areas the first time they cleaned their newly installed waterproof laminate floors.
We were terrified, actually. We were like, I don't know what we did. Is it our problem?
The flooring Floor and Decor sold him is marketed as waterproof, wood-based laminate with AquaGuard performance.
All right, let me talk about this for a minute. A laminate, and again, I don't know all the little nuances of all the flooring out there, but I know laminate to me means just like it's a laminated surface on top of, usually back in the day, it was pressed wood, basically. And it's come a long way. There are different products out there that are supposedly waterproof. This doesn't say waterproof. Well, it says waterproof. It's water resistant because there are products out there that are literally waterproof and there's others that are water resistant. The problem that I have is that Floor and Decor is going to bat for this product, right? Rather than saying, you know what, to the customer, let's refund your money, our bad, and then send the product back to the manufacturer, Floor and Decor pushes against them. Watch this.
Sadeep says they use the same cleaner Floor & Decor recommended.
Let the solution come out and then you just mop it. It's not rocket science. It's pretty basic.
But after that first cleaning with this damage, Floor & Decor suggested they hire a certified inspector to figure out what went wrong, saying the store would reimburse them if it was a manufacturing issue. And here's that inspector's report. Manufacturing-related issues observed. It should not have swelled at the edges from a simple cleaning operation. But
In the story, right? Because as Floor & Decor, first of all, if Floor & Decor is going to go bat for the company that they're only selling the product for, which they shouldn't have done, they should have like passed it on to the product manufacturer. So what I'm getting at is if you take something back to Home Depot, you don't get a pushback on the product. It's like, why are you bringing it back? Oh, I don't like it. And then they take it, right? Walmart, same way. They don't ask for a reason or excuse or anything. They just take it back. And that's what Floor & Decor should have done. But instead, they forced this poor couple to go out and hire an inspector, right? And say, oh, we'll reimburse you if it's a manufacturer defect. No, the manufacturer, I don't know. They're kind of in bed with each other, I think.
Floor & Decor pushed for another inspector, which came to a very different conclusion. Improper maintenance methods. What about the maintenance? The report notes installation guidelines stating, occasionally wet mop with water only. That's strange because look right here on Floor & Decor's website, linking to a recommended cleaner the Metas say they used.
I really feel.
Okay, so now here's my problem. A water-only thing is the same as a cleaner, right? They're not oil-based. All of that stuff has water in it. The product itself doesn't know one thing from another. It just knows, hey, I have water on here. It could have been a Coke. It could have been, ice cream. It could have been anything. The fact that it swells on the side, the fact that this supposedly waterproof flooring swells on the side is alone a reason to give them their money back. Just take all the flooring back and let, Floor & Decor deal with it with the manufacturer, because at the end of the day, the customer to Floor & Decor is a manufacturer. The customer to Floor & Decor is the customer. So the customer has to be satisfied, and then they just send it back up the line, right? That's just my take on it.
Frustrated and sad that all your hard-earned money that you want to put in to make your house, and this is how it turns out.
But then Floor & Decor blamed an entirely different issue not in either inspector's report, claiming a wrong underlay was used.
It said on the box, waterproof.
Warranty for lifetime for household. And here we are right now where they're not going to acknowledge us. They won't empathize with us. They have no compassion at all.
You are our last hope.
So is this laminate waterproof? And which story is Floor & Decor going with? We reached out to the company, which said after carefully assessing all the information, it was determined that the issue was caused by an improper installation process by a third-party company.
It's always going to be a third-party company. The third party is the installer, or the installer, sorry, insulator. The installer, it's always going to be a third party. Yes, Floor & Decor has some of their people that work for them, not under them, because trust me, Floor & Decor will wash their hands of any of their contractors. They only have a list of probably half a dozen people that they recommend. But those people are contractors by themselves. They don't work for Floor & Decor. So if those contractors make a mistake, Floor & Decor doesn't come to the rescue. So there's always going to be a third party. Hello?
However, we have agreed to provide a full replacement of the floor to the customer. The company did not address why the installation instructions say wet mop with water only, while its own website suggested cleaning solutions.
We never, in our wildest dream, expected something like this to happen.
Despite those installation instructions saying mop with water only, we went to Floor & Decor's website and it still suggests cleaners for this particular floor. The expert we spoke with says he thinks it's deceptive to market these floors as waterproof if they could damage this easily. Floor & Decor did not address that concern.
Exactly. And so let's go back to the picture, because this is 1,000 words. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can get back to that picture, because this is pretty obvious a failure of the product. So anything that how do you install improperly? Like how do you make a, there it is. How do you make a product when they said that the underlayment was installed improperly, it was an improper underlayment or whatever the case is. This is a surface level. This got right in between the two pieces where they like tongue and groove and come together. And I don't know how it is Floor & Decor is just going to wash their hands of it. And then, of course, the pushback by this news team made them realize, you know what, for PR purposes, we got to give their money back. But I'm disappointed in Floor & Decor because, look here, I don't know, again, I'm not an expert in all these different products, all these different flooring products. But I came across this product about 9 years ago, that this guy was installing. This is a fake wood floor type material, and it is rubber. Like this is hard as a rock. This thing probably weighs, I'm guessing, about half a pound. This thing, if I threw it at you, bam, it would go straight into your forehead, right through your bone. This thing is tough as nails. This thing is really, really hard. It's rubber. It's literally like rubber, you know, and it's very thick. It's probably a good part of almost a 1/4 inch thick. Yeah, about a 1/4 inch thick. And it's tough. And even when I took a razor blade, right, and I did it really, really hard. Like when I tried to cut it with a razor blade, I actually got a cut to make it, but I couldn't scratch it. Like, you know, no matter what I do, I can't scratch it. So any furniture or anything that you put on there that you slide around on it, it's not going to bother it. There's no scratches. You can't damage this stuff. And water would definitely not get through it. And it's the same type of tongue and groove. Part of this tongue broke off over time. I've been carrying this around for a long time. But it's basically just tongue and groove installation. And it's a floating floor. And it doesn't have any of the underlayment that they're talking about and all that stuff. I don't think this is going to go in. No, this is falling apart on me. But anyway, this is a really, really good, I don't even know the name of it, but it's a really, really good flowing material. And you could tell by this material, because it's so dense and it's just rubber, there's no way water would ever affect it. And you could put any kind of cleaning product out there and it's not going to bother at all. It's just very, very dense. This weighs as much as a pound of bacon. I mean, it's really, really good flooring. Anyway, I just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about that because Floor & Decor, although, like I said, when I started out, they needed to tweak some of their business model in order to get on board with me because my customers buy from them. And I would be like going to bat for my customers if I had a problem with their tile or something and my customer had to take it back and they're going to push back. They shouldn't do that. They're big. Floor & Decor is now in California. They're all over the United States. They have grown exponentially since I started the same time they started. Like they're basically as ubiquitous as Home Depot or Lowe's now. Floor & Decor, everybody knows them. So I just think it's really cruddy for them to push back on these people. I really do. And fortunately, because the news program got involved, they finally declined, you know, like to fight this thing and decided, you know what, let's just refund their money. But they should have done that from the get-go. It just disheartens me that a company that I deal with in my work would be treating customers like that, because that could very well have been my customer if it were tile they were talking about. Anyway, that's my take on it. I'm going to let the story run through without my jibber jab so you can get a better feel about the attitude that Floor & Decor had. So I'm going to let this story run all over again by itself on its own without me talking.
18 grand on waterproof laminate floors throughout their home.
And they say they spotted damage after the first cleaning. It was time to call Curtis to investigate.
Yeah, well, the big question is, if it says it's waterproof, is it?
See the bubbled up edge and the swelling on the floor? It's not what Sudeep and Samiti Mehta expected in several areas the first time they cleaned their newly installed waterproof laminate floors.
We were terrified, actually. We were like, I don't know what we did. Is it our problem?
The flooring Floor & Decor sold him is marketed as waterproof, wood-based laminate with AquaGuard performance. Sudeep says they use the same cleaner Floor & Decor recommended.
Let the solution come out and then you just mop it. It's not rocket science. It's pretty basic.
But after that first cleaning with this damage, Floor & Decor suggested they hire a certified inspector to figure out what went wrong, saying the store would reimburse them if it was a manufacturing issue. And here's that inspector's report. manufacturing-related issues observed. It should not have swelled at the edges from a simple cleaning operation. But Floor & Decor pushed for another inspector, which came to a very different conclusion: improper maintenance methods. What about the maintenance? The report notes installation guidelines stating occasionally wet mop with water only. That's strange because look right here on Floor & Decor's website, linking to a recommended cleaner the Metas say they used.
I really feel frustrated and sad that all your hard-earned money that you want to put in to make your house, and this is how it turns out.
But then Floor & Decor blamed an entirely different issue not in either inspector's report, claiming a wrong underlay was used.
It said on the box, waterproof.
Warranty for lifetime for household. And here we are right now where they're not going to acknowledge us. They won't empathize with us. They have no compassion at all.
You are our last hope.
So is this laminate waterproof? And which story is Floor & Decor going with? We reached out to the company, which said after carefully assessing all the information, it was determined that the issue was caused by an improper installation process by a third-party company. However, we have agreed to provide a full replacement of the floor to the customer. The company did not address why the installation instructions say wet mop with water only, while its own website suggested cleaning solutions.
We never in our wildest dream expected something like this to happen.
Despite those installation instructions saying mop with water only, we went to Floor & Decor's website and it still suggests cleaners for this particular floor. The expert we spoke with says he thinks it's deceptive to market these floors as waterproof if they could damage this easily. Floor & Decor did not address that concern. Have a consumer problem? CBS 13 is here for you.
Yeah, and see, and I feel the same way. I feel like it's very deceptive that Floor & Decor is going to say one thing when the manufacturer says another, and then Floor & Decor tried to basically blow it off for 3 different reasons. That they used the wrong product when they recommended the product, that it was improper installation, and that the underlayment was wrong. It's like they did everything they could to skirt their responsibility until toward the end when the news got involved. I don't like that. It really rubs me the wrong way. I hope I never run into that with any of my customers where it comes to Floor & Decor. But that's all my diatribe. That's enough, 17 minutes worth. But I just want to come on here and wish everybody a Merry, Merry Christmas. Merry, Merry Christmas on today. Because, you know, like it's a season to be jolly. So I'm here being jolly-ish. Even though I kind of got onto Floor & Decor. You know, it's still all good. I just want you guys to know, that's all. Anyway, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year when it comes. And you know what? I really flaked on doing my live streams. I think it's been like 5 months since I did a live stream. So I promise I'm going to come back in January, maybe even next week. But definitely in January, I'm going to start up my live streams again. So get ready for that. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful day. And, you know, we'll see you next year. Maybe. Hey, if you enjoyed that video and you learned something, consider being a Patreon member. $5, $10, $15 a month would help me greatly produce more videos. I make nothing from YouTube at all. If you're going to call me for advice, please donate $50 for 30 minutes. My link to my PayPal and my Patreon account is down below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you get immediate notifications as soon as I post videos. And thank you very much for your support.